YouTube just rolled out a brand new algorithm update for October 2025 that completely changes what kind of settings you should be using, what features you should be using on YouTube, what kind of content you should be creating, and so much more. But please don't panic. If you simply adjust these new algorithm changes and new settings, it's easier than ever before for you to be able to grow on YouTube. In fact, these new settings just helped me gain over 70,000 subscribers on a new YouTube channel and help this creator gain over 50,000 subscribers. And guess what? The same exact thing can happen to you so long as you implement these changes. Change number one is you need to make sure that you start using the new A/B test feature that they just released for titles on YouTube. But again, if you've seen my content before in the past, you should not be doing this for thumbnails because it's actually broken for thumbnails right now. You should only be using this for titles, and what this allows you to do is test either 2 or 3 different titles in order to see which one not only increases your reach the most on YouTube, but also actually gets the most people to click on your content. Let me explain. Okay, so when I say A/B testing, what I'm talking about is this feature right here. So now if you click on this, you will be able to see that you can actually test between 2 different titles or 3 different titles, and this is going to affect how many views you actually end up getting. Now here's why this really matters. If we come over to this post right here and then this post right here, what you're going to notice that really the only thing different about these posts besides the actual content itself is going to be the title. And essentially, your title helps determine how many impressions you end up getting on your video. So if we come over here to this video and we come over here into reach and then come in to see more, we will be able to pull up how many impressions this post is actually getting. So right now this is done by views, but if we come over here and click on impressions, we'll be able to see this video got 19,000 impressions. So about 25% of people actually viewed this video versus who got shown this video. Now, if we come back over into this other video that got 35,000 views, then we come over here, we click on reach, click on see more, come into the impressions right here, we're going to notice that this video got way more impressions. In fact, this video got almost 300,000 impressions. So almost 300,000 people saw this versus a fraction of that for the other video. So what does that tell you? That the title is actually way more important than you're probably realizing right now, which is why if you A/B test different titles, you might be able to find a title that has a different keyword or a different phrase in it that actually allows your video to get way more impressions and then as a result, way more views than it actually deserves. But titles aren't the only thing that's going to help you increase your growth right now. You also need to make sure that you're using the new collaboration feature. In fact, they just released this, and this is actually a huge hack for you to be able to get monetized on YouTube incredibly quickly, so long as you take advantage of this feature the right way. Let me show you where it is and how I would suggest using it. Okay, now here's how you actually turn on this collab feature. If you come over to a video that isn't published yet and you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see this right here. Grow your audience by collaborating with other creators and expand your video's reach to their audiences. If we click on learn more right here, this basically tells you exactly how this works. So essentially, this is going to allow you to increase the amount of reach that you get. So the goal of using this feature is to recommend the video to the audiences of both of the collaborators and the channel where the video was actually posted. So what this actually does is allows the video to come from multiple people. So if I come over here and click on invite, you can see it's going to expand my reach. I'm still going to have full ownership and I'm in control. So let's say that I come over here and type in Mike the Credit Guy. We could see that I can show this content then to both my channel and his channel. Now, what I would recommend that you do is do this with people that are in your niche and people that can actually help you out. Whether it be a channel larger than yours or a channel smaller than yours, this feature works for both of those different scenarios. So don't only think that you have to do this with really big creators. And if you want some creative ways that you could actually use this with people even that are smaller than you, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll make a full-length video about this. Now, change number 3 is that trends don't last anywhere near as long as they used to on YouTube. Trends used to last for weeks and even months on YouTube, but it doesn't work like that anymore because now the YouTube algorithm is hyper-focused on past audience history. What does this mean? They're really focused on what you've recently viewed in order to determine what you're going to see next. I'm sure that you've had this experience before. You've watched a video. Maybe it was about football. It was about soccer. It was about cats. It could have been about anything. And then you keep getting shown more content from that same channel, from that same creator, or within that same niche. The same exact thing is happening to your audience right now, and you need to make sure you're staying on top of exactly what's trending. Now, in my opinion, the easiest way to do that is using today's video sponsor, Metricool, because they've made this not only easy, but effortless. Because Metricool allows you to just open it up, scroll all the way down, and instantly you're going to be able to see exactly what your competitors have posted recently on YouTube. In fact, you're going to be able to track them so you can log in every day and in 30 seconds find out exactly what content types are trending, what topics are trending, and you'll know exactly what you should post about on YouTube. And my favorite part about Metricool is you could go to the pinned comment below right now and get started with 30 days free access to any of their premium plans with code ROBERT. But Metricool isn't just about competitors. They're also about making your YouTube analytics really easy to understand. I'm sure that you've had the experience before in the past where you went into your analytics and it was incredibly confusing. You didn't know what to pay attention to. You didn't know what was actually accurate, but Metricool solves all of that. They make it incredibly easy to be able to figure out exactly what topics are trending in your niche, exactly what type of content is working in your niche, and even what kind of content and what topics you should be uploading about in order to maximize the amount of money that you're currently making from YouTube. So if you want to start to grow faster on YouTube, get more views, and ultimately get monetized or make more money from YouTube AdSense, I would strongly suggest you go to the pinned comment below and get started with 30 days free access to any of Metricool's premium plans with code ROBERT. Now, change number 4 is that YouTube recently released a new hype points feature, and you're probably not taking advantage of this, not because you aren't telling people to hype you up, but because you don't actually have this setting turned on. So you need to make sure that you turn this on. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, but first I wanted to emphasize 2 things. 1, the more hype points you get on your post, the more likely your post is going to go viral and get a lot of views. 2, I would strongly suggest that you actually try to incentivize your audience to hype your content up, because they can only hype up 5 posts every single week. So you want to make sure that your posts are the ones that they're actually hyping up, because it's going to skyrocket the reach like no other metric on YouTube. Okay, so to prove to you how much hype points actually work, I wanted to come over to my analytics and actually show you this. If we come over into advanced mode, this is just for the last 28 days. If we come over here into metrics and we type in hype points and hypes, you can see that the videos that I'm getting the most hypes on are getting a lot of views. 18 hypes, 45,000 views. 17 hypes, 78,000 views. 9 hypes, 50,000 views. 6 hypes, 34,000 views. But how do you actually get this to happen? So essentially, somebody needs to watch your content and then they can click to hype up your video, but you only get 5 opportunities to do this every single week for not yourself, but for your audience. So what you want to do is talk to your audience about why they should be hyping up your content and how it's really going to help you, how it's actually more important than people liking your content, sharing your content, subscribing to your channel, or even commenting on your content. This is the number one thing that will actually increase your reach. And if you look at these videos that I got hyped on, I made a decent amount of money from them. In fact, if we just looked at the hyped videos, it made me a few $1,000s just in the last 28 days. So this is really, really important for you to do if you want to grow faster, get more views, get discovered more, or get monetized on YouTube. So the way that you actually need to turn this on is you need to come over here into your account settings. You need to click on channel. You need to click on advanced settings, scroll all the way down. You're going to see this right here. Let viewers hype my content. You need to make sure that this is turned on. I've seen a ton of people that don't actually have this turned on, and I would strongly suggest you come into your settings, check this, make sure it's turned on, because viewers can hype your videos at no cost 3 times a week. Now, like I said, viewers only get 5 opportunities to do this across all of YouTube every week, and they can do your content a maximum of 3 times a week. So you need to make sure that you have a bunch of viewers that are actually doing this to your page. Then change number 5 is that YouTube changed the analytics that you need to make sure that you're hitting. If you've watched my content before in the past, you know how important it is to get the right amount of average view duration and to hook people in the beginning so that you have the right stayed to watch metric. But YouTube expanded what matters to be greater than that now. They also care about your click-through rate and how many returning viewers you're getting. Let me explain. Okay, so let's talk about those analytics that actually matter. If we come over into content, we come over into shorts, I'm going to show you this again with videos that are doing well. If we look at this video right here, not doing super well, but if we come over into analytics here, the reason is because stayed to watch is less than 80%. You need to make sure that's over 80%. If you're not hitting at least 80% on this, you aren't going to get the reach that you want. There are 2 ways for you to be able to increase how many people stay to watch. 1, make videos about topics that your ideal audience actually wants to watch, aka what is trending. And then 2, make sure the first 3 seconds kind of interests them and gets them to not click away. Simply doing this is going to increase this number. In addition to that, you need to make sure that your average view duration is over 100% if your video is less than 30 seconds. If your video is greater than 30 seconds, like this video, it needs to be at least 80%. So this video right here was 40 seconds. So what we would want to do is we would want to come over here and we would want to type in 40 times 0.8. So we need at least 32. So we actually hit the average view duration that we needed on this video to go viral, but we didn't hit the stayed to watch, which basically proves to you that you need to hit both of those things. Because if we come over to a video that has done pretty well, like this video that's now at 36,000 views, we could come over here, scroll down, see that the stayed to watch is over 80%, and the average view duration is definitely higher than it needs to be for a 41-second video. This is probably going to be like 32 to 33 seconds, but we have 37 seconds, so we hit both of those things, which is why this video is doing really well and is going to end up going viral for me. But I don't want you to just stop those 2 metrics. You also need to make sure that you come over here into advanced mode and you're watching 2 other things. The first one that you want to pay attention to is going to be returning viewers. You need to turn that on. And then the second one that you want to pay attention to is going to be your click-through rate. You want to make sure that that is turned on. Now we're going to click on apply here, and you need to make sure that you're getting a high number of returning viewers that are watching your content, and you need to make sure that your click-through rate is as high as possible. In fact, you want this click-through rate to ideally be over 10% for you to maximize the amount of reach that you're getting. Now, you don't have to hit those 2 metrics if you hit the first 2, but if you don't hit the first 2, this is the only 2 things that are actually going to save your content. So please make sure you're focused on those 4 things. 1, how many people are staying to watch? 2, what your average view duration is. 3, how many return viewers you're getting. And 4, what your click-through rate is. Because if you only focus on those 4 things and ignore everything else, I guarantee you, you're going to get more views and you're going to grow faster on YouTube than you're currently growing right now. Don't get all bogged down with all the different things that you could possibly look at. Just keep it simple and keep it growing. And then that last and most important change is going to be to your posting frequency, because in the past on YouTube, you kind of just wanted to post as much as you could, but that's not the case anymore. Now, you want to make sure that you're doing 2 things differently with how frequently you're currently posting. 1, you want to stick to a schedule and stick to a cadence. That might mean 3 times a week, that might mean 5 times a week, might mean 10 times a week. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're consistent with it. And then secondly, whenever you have a post do really well, you should be taking ideally 1 to 2 days at least off from posting. And the reason for this is because you don't want to step on the toes of that post. Because thinking about it, if your post is doing well, that means the YouTube algorithm found a really good audience for it and they know exactly who to show that content to. So why would you want to get in the way of that by posting again? In fact, please don't do this. This is the #1 mistake that I see small creators making right now that's ruining their growth. Now, if you're serious about blowing up on YouTube and you want to make it easy, I'm talking as easy as possible, you need to work with me one-on-one so I can literally tell you everything that you need to do in order to change your life and blow up your YouTube channel. The same exact way that I was able to help this creator do it, this creator do it, and this creator do it, I want to help you next. If that sounds interesting, well, please check out this video right here that walks you through the 3 different ways that we can work together one-on-one, and I can guarantee you grow faster on YouTube. I'll see you over there.